Welcome to GHC Coffee Break. Go get your coffee and join me with Dr. Dana Nichols on GHC Coffee Break. Go get your coffee. We'll be right back.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a take charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome back to GHC Coffee Break. I'm really excited about my guest this morning, Dr. Dana Nichols from Georgia Highlands College, who is our Vice President of Academic Affairs. Say that fast 3 times, right?
Right.
Get my tongue twisted. Dana, I'm so glad you're here this morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
I'm very excited. You've been here for, I think, about 6 months.
Almost.
Almost 6 months. And I know our community would like to know a little bit more about you. So if you kind of give us a little background and how you come to be at Georgia Highlands.
Okay, yeah, I'd be glad to. So I was born and raised in Lawrenceville, Georgia, so I'm a native Georgia girl.
Georgia Peach.
Georgia Peach. And almost from the very beginning, I knew that I wanted to be in education. So I started my career early in the foreign language lab and the writing lab at Gainesville State College, which of course has since merged and become the University of North Georgia. But I really found my niche there early on, I think, in helping students understand concepts that had been perceived to be difficult before. So I finished my master's degree and I went into the classroom as an associate professor and taught English and Spanish. And again, just really loved seeing those light bulbs go off in the students when they learned that they could do something that they thought that would be too difficult for them. I did leave there and go to Linear Technical College, which helped me learn a lot about the TCSG system, the workforce needs of the state of Georgia, the technical side of academics. And from there I went to the Chattanooga State Community College in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Love Tennessee.
Tennessee is a beautiful place and Chattanooga is certainly a beautiful town, but when I saw the posting for a VPAA at Georgia Highlands, I thought, that's it. That's home, and that's where I need to be. And even in Tennessee, the college had already had a reputation of having a new dynamic leader with energy and innovation, and I thought, that's for me. So I applied, went through a grueling process for interviewing.
I know it always is.
Yeah, and you guys hired me, and so I'm so happy to be here and contribute to the college.
Well, we're absolutely excited to have you here as well as a faculty member, and you being part of my direct line. I'm excited to have you here as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You may have had a challenge with me in Spanish, my my southern accent. My high school teacher, I think, probably had nightmares when I was in there. I just couldn't quite spit it out. I could understand it,
Sure.
but spitting it out wasn't the easiest thing for me.
Well, you'll just have to take my class.
Well, I will,
Okay.
because I think Spanish is a very a language that is, I think, very much needed in our area.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Sure.
And like I said, I kind of remember some things like Susana en casa and ¿Cómo está usted?
Muy bien, perfecto.
Gracias.
De nada.
So things like that, but you know, but I would love to take a Spanish class where I wasn't under the pressure and stress of making a grade, maybe.
Right, it makes
Been
a
there,
difference.
done that, yeah, exactly. Conversational Spanish.
Sure.
It was easy when I took sign language because I didn't have to speak it.
Right. No accent there.
Right. I know sign language.
That's right.
We'll trade. I'll teach you sign language. You teach me
Very
Spanish.
good. It's a deal.
Okay. So I never thought about that because we could get into it. But so what kind of things? I know you said you knew that this was the place to be. that's kind of the way I felt when I came here 23 years ago. I was a graduate of Georgia Highlands when it was Floyd Junior College.
Yes.
But what kind of things did you see that made you say, this is where I want to be, and what kind of things have you done so far?
Well, I wanted to be here. I've always been very attached to the access mission. I believe that everybody has a right to education, and the access mission has always been very important to me, and so Georgia Highlands is very strong in that way.
Yes.
It also offers some selection of bachelor's degree programs as well, so that was very appealing to me, coming from a community college in Tennessee that did not have the bachelor's level. I really liked how Georgia Highlands had made it possible to begin in an access mission and continue on through bachelor's completion. So I wanted to be part of that. I had also heard and have since confirmed great things about the faculty here. It's really a strong faculty, and it is a very welcoming faculty. I have felt very welcome in the time that I've been here. So I feel good about being part of this family. What have I done? Wow, it's been a whirlwind.
I know, 5 months is like...
Yes, it's gone by very quickly, and I'm very proud of some of the things that we've done even in that short time. And one at the top of my list is, early on we established a regular meeting schedule so that members of the Faculty Senate could meet with members of academic affairs leadership, the deans and myself. They had shared with me during my interview process that had been something that had been a little lacking, that they hadn't had direct access to that group to discuss important college issues in academic affairs. So I have worked with the Faculty Senate President, Steve Stuglin, and he and I have pulled together a group, and we meet, and it's a summit, and we discuss person to person the important things that we need to address at the college in terms of academic affairs. So I'm really proud of that. Communication is so key to moving a college forward. So,
Absolutely.
So I'm really proud of that, and I will share with you that I have, well, on my very first day on the job, the Dean of Science and Physical Education submitted to me his resignation.
I remember that.
Very first day on the job. And so I was faced immediately with trying to find an interim dean. There was also a vacant CETL director position, and so I've had some personnel challenges there, and I feel like those processes are moving along really well, and so we've been busy. We've been involved in a lot of curriculum development. It's in its early stages, but there's going to be some great stuff coming out.
And I know one of the things that that has been done, I believe, is a criminal justice degree.
Correct, an major in criminal justice at the bachelor's level. It's a consortium of 3 institutions, and Georgia Highlands is one of them. That came to fruition during my time here, but really that was led by the faculty and the Dean of Social Sciences, Business, and Education. So exciting.
Another Dr. Nichols,
Another Dr. Nichols, no relation.
No relation. I know everybody when they, are y'all related?
Yes,
no. But yes, in fact, I'm going to have, at some point, Greg Sumner hopefully will join me on GHC Coffee Break to talk more in detail about that particular program, because I think it's going to be really exciting. It
is an exciting opportunity for people interested in that line of work, and it's so flexible being an major online.
It is, and you know, our programs online have grown over the years, and as you said, we do have some limited bachelors, and just in case some people don't know, would you share some of the ones that we do have?
Sure. We have a BSN, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, very popular program, and of course our region is healthcare heavy, so we need all of our good nurses that we can get. We also have a bachelor's degree in supply chain and logistics, also being part of the 75 corridor. Logistics and supply chain management are very important workforce needs. We also have a bachelor's in business administration, which is also a very popular, very strong bachelor's degree.
Okay, so that's several degrees right there that have the bachelor's degrees.
Yes.
And I know that, well, some of them, our nursing program has always been stellar at Georgia Highlands.
Yes.
Ever since I was a student here in 80 to 83. And even before that, the success rate of our nursing program and our nursing students has always been very high.
Yes.
As far as once they make it through the program, they're pretty much going to pass their exams.
Yes.
Because of the rigor of the program itself prepares them that well for the exams.
Yes, exactly.
And that's always been true.
Yes.
So to go from an associate level to a bachelor's level, that's pretty, that says a lot for Georgia Highlands, I think.
I agree. And of course, that was one of the things that we in Tennessee knew about Georgia Highlands, was that their nursing success rate was very high, very strong.
And then I believe the dental hygiene now has a bachelor's as well, correct?
That is correct, yes. You can achieve your bachelor's degree in dental hygiene, and that's very useful for those that have maybe some aspirations to moving up in their career, something more administrative.
Yeah, and you know, administration, to me, I think it's really helpful when you have been through the ranks, so to speak.
Sure.
Where that you've done the work as a nurse, or you've done the work as a hygienist, or whatever it is that your field goes into, and to give them that extra, hey, look, I know how to do the skill, I have the skills, now teach me the skills on how to administer.
Yes.
and properly supervise effectively, and have that leadership role.
Yes, and that's just a good pathway for everybody involved. I would never have applied for a advanced administrative leadership role had I not been faculty in the classroom.
Well, and I think that I'm sure probably for a lot of academic affairs, I would hope that is probably kind of the progression. And it does help if you've been a faculty member.
It certainly does. You understand firsthand the challenges and demands of being in the classroom in front of 30 students every class period that are looking at you and wanting to know something new, wanting to learn.
And it's funny but I don't think there's a lot of, you know, we have K through 12 education, but there's not a lot that teaches us how to be college professors.
It is so true. It is so true. We take content courses, we learn our discipline, but we don't always understand classroom management, how to handle disciplinary problems, which inevitably arise.
Even in college.
Even in college, yes.
So it's really interesting to see the progression, and I think it's great that Georgia Highlands really has taken the reins to say, look, we acknowledge the skills level, we acknowledge the application, now let's move on to the next level of care to provide that for our students. And I believe we also have several programs that dovetail with education, and some 2+2s.
Yes.
With Kennesaw, I believe, and West Georgia, so that's also beneficial, and I think that makes us unique to really do what people should do.
Yeah.
Partner.
Yes.
I believe in the old analogy, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
In education, I grew up, I'm a first generation college student.
Me too.
and it's really, you know, the family was proud, and I was proud to be able to say that. I was a non-traditional student.
Yes.
I did not start my college career early. I worked in the field agencies before getting into teaching, but that also helped me in a different way.
Absolutely.
Having that agency base, because I'm the human service director. Some people know out there that I'm the human service director here, and to have that agency base to be able to know, hey, I've worked in the field of human services, not just teaching about it.
Yeah.
So.
And that is my ideal academic affairs world, is that there are multiple on and off ramps for students. It doesn't matter if you're 17 and graduating from high school early, or if you're 65 and you're looking to broaden your knowledge base, or if you're mid-career and you want to do a second-generation career. There needs to be, I think it's on us to create multiple on and off ramps for interested students and those that want to learn.
Absolutely, and I think Georgia Highlands does that. I've got some questions when we come back about what you hope to see in the future for Georgia Highlands.
Sure.
We'll be right back. Go get your coffee.
Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
Estimated time 47 hours.
they will beg,
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
they will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Welcome back to GHC Coffee Break. Dana, we kind of left with what you've been doing and the exciting things, and to me they are exciting. I've been here for 23 years. As I said, I was a former student. I felt like I came home when I came back. It was a home place for me. As a non-traditional student, it's been home for me now for 23 years. I would like now to see, though, where you as the academic affairs, you know, the Vice President of Academic Affairs, hope to see us going.
Well, hold on, because there are lots and lots of positive changes coming in the way of curriculum. And I hinted at it just a little bit before the break that I think that we need to have multiple possibilities for people to engage in higher ed, no matter where they are in their lives.
Absolutely.
And part of doing that is building stackable credentials. So I would like to work to, and already am to some degree. If you'll remember, when I first got here, we met and we talked about some curricular possibilities with your program.
Yes.
And I said, I think, let's let the genie out of the bottle. Let's think outside the box. And so I have challenged and encouraged others in the same way. And building stackable credentials allows you to do a couple of things. One, it gives you short-term certificate programs, which the college hasn't really engaged in a whole lot, but I think it's an opportunity and it's a direction that we're going to be moving in.
And I am working on mine, by the way.
Wonderful, wonderful.
In fact, we have another meeting coming up next week, I believe.
Great, that's exciting news. And you know, the certificate program, when you start there, it's a manageable chunk for people who may be a little afraid of getting into higher education. They can sort of see the light at the end of the tunnel, graduate with a credential. Often those certificates are built so that there's a capstone, maybe leading to industry certification that is portable. So if they want to take it and go immediately into the workplace, they can. But the idea is that those courses in the certificate also stack inside an associate's degree, which also stacks inside a bachelor's degree. So even if they only have time and resources right now to take the certificate program and they need to go to work for a few years, they still have that pathway back. They won't have lost anything. And in fact, they'll be ahead because they will have already had several credit hours. Making that process easier than what higher ed traditionally has made it, I think is where we're going, and building more on those partnerships. As you say, it does take a village, and I want to make sure that there's seamless pathways from our students when they walk in our doors all the way through the doctorate level if they want to go there. Now, I'm not saying we're going to develop doctorate degrees, but what I am saying is we need to provide that pathway so that they can transfer ultimately to Kennesaw and UGA and Georgia Tech if they want to. Some of the more immediate curriculum development that you'll be seeing coming out of academic affairs include things like green agribusiness. We tend to forget sometimes, I think, that Georgia is largely agricultural, and there are workers in those fields. And green agribusiness blends the business project management side, the environmental science piece for the sustainability, all into one credential so that students can graduate, go into the agribusiness industry in whatever realm, whether it's animal science or whether it's, you know, the wine industry is big here in Georgia. Maybe they want to go into the wine industry. So looking for earth-healthy ways to run our agriculturally related businesses in the state of Georgia. That's one that's coming down the pike.
That's interesting.
Yes, I'm excited about that.
Well, okay, so that's one. I like that.
Yeah. Of course, we all, in this day and age, we all suffer from cybersecurity worries.
Yes.
And we are uniquely poised at Georgia Highlands, I think, to take that and develop that into a program, again, stackable, so that there are chunks. As we know, technology changes very quickly.
Very fast.
And so to stay on top of cybersecurity, it does make sense to have smaller chunks of curriculum so that we can change it as technology changes and be responsive to where technology is. So think in terms of maybe a couple of certificates taken one or together, leading into an associate's degree, which then leads into a larger bachelor's degree.
Oh, I like the way you think.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
No, I like that because I can see that being very helpful.
Yes,
So
very timely.
Yeah, and well, timely, and I think people will be drawn to that kind of
Oh, certainly.
opportunity.
You know, we see it on television all of the time. There's many shows that talk about how risky the cyber environment is and how easy it
It's
is.
scary.
Yeah, it is very scary, and you know, we need to stay on top of that. And I think we've got the resources to produce a program that'll do that.
Okay. All right, so tell me more, tell me more.
So there's also an opportunity that we have coming down for a partnership with a, are you familiar with BIM? It's Building Information Modeling. And they have programs now. Think of your old drafting program. And when you think of that, you probably think of a table with a ruler and some pencils and a grid and an old-fashioned sort of planning drawings for a house, maybe. We've moved far beyond that now. The structures that we're building are far more complicated. Think of skyscrapers.
Oh, yeah.
And computer-aided design is something most people are familiar with, AutoCAD, Autodesk,
Yes.
those kinds of Revit. That is even evolving now. Those are 2D solutions. There are 3D solutions now. And so we will be developing some programs based around BIM management so that they learn not only the AutoCAD, the Autodesk, and the Revit, which are so very common still, but they'll learn also the next phase, which is Tekla structures.
Wow.
And then they will learn project management. They will learn basic business principles and bring all that together into a final degree.
That sounds interesting. The 3D, even the 3D printing and stuff,
Oh, yes.
just totally blows my mind. And even going back to the thinking, and this is really telephone and fax machines. It's crazy that you can take a piece of paper and put it in a machine, and it actually print what you've sent
Yes.
to somewhere else. My brain doesn't work that way. I mean, I know it happens, obviously, and
Yes.
just like with the telephone, that we can actually talk now on a cell phone, literally countries away. And with Skype and some of those things.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So to see that Georgia Highlands has really taken that to the next level is awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited about all of those and other possibilities too that maybe we'll share on a later show.
Oh, that sounds good. and as I said, we are working, and I've got some things I'll be proposing pretty soon. Some ideas for the Human Services program as well. That
Exciting.
I definitely see the Human Services program being able to expand itself and offer a lot of opportunities for future, past, and current students because it is a very popular field. I think it comes and goes, and unfortunately, it's a lot. Human Services tied a lot to funding.
Sure.
Outside funding, when people go to jobs in the agencies, a lot of those agencies are nonprofit, so therefore they are also tied to funding, and the job opportunities therefore tied to funding.
Yes, absolutely.
And that comes down a lot of times not only from local and state, but from the federal government. It's always blown my mind. And education, as you know, too.
Absolutely.
We need teachers to educate the people to do the jobs, but yet those are the things that seem to go first.
That's correct.
as a teacher yourself, you know,
Yes.
it's kind of crazy, but
It is.
So, you know, to look at our future at Georgia Highlands, I think that I see a lot of things very exciting coming along.
Yeah.
I like to see that you're passionate and your energy and things that you seem to be very diverse in your knowledge as far as what are even possible. So that's a very positive thing for us as well.
Well, thank you. And I do a lot of research. I dig into what's new in technology. I look at where, well, frankly, I look at where my 8-year-old nephew is interested, because, you know, he's the future. And if he's interested in something and his friends are interested in something, that tells me, okay, we need to start looking at this, that maybe this is a piece of technology or a skill that we need to develop a program around. I like to look at what's going on in other states, but always with an idea that we're ultimately producing a workforce for Georgia. So yeah, I do a lot of research and I'm excited about it, and it's a process. It takes time to develop programs that are good and positive, but it's great work.
And really appreciate you joining us on our show to let our community know a little bit about you and what's going to be happening at Georgia Highlands. So join us next time on GHC Coffee Break.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Thank you for joining me on GHC Coffee Break. It's really been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Dr. Nichols, Dr. Dana Nichols. Until next time on GHC Coffee Break, get your coffee and have a great day.